the press statement. Thank you, President.
Thank you very much, comrade, and good afternoon, everyone present. A media briefing, deregistration, another political attack on a genuine militant trade union in South Africa, Amcu. Members of the media, guest comrade, we thank you for attending this media briefing. As Amcu, we had a very constructive National Executive Committee NEC meeting yesterday, and our engagement was shared with and confirmed our Central Executive Committee CEC this morning. During this week, we received a notice from the Registrar of Labour Relations indicating his clear intention to cancel the registration of Amcu. We have analyzed the process leading up to this action, and we are more convinced than ever that is a political attack on Amcu for being a genuine trade union. Amcu is being punished for being a genuine trade union. We are genuinely committed to transforming the lives of the black working class in our country. We find it strange that the state is being so harsh with us as a trade union when the state has proven to be very soft on mining houses when they fail to comply with their MPRDA, Mineral and Petroleum Resources Development Act, and the Mining Charter. They were first given an extension of 10 years while communities where they are mining were suffering, while they were continuing looting the wealth of the country without the communities benefiting from these minerals. When former Minister Ramatlodi wanted to enforce and withdraw mining licenses from those looters, he was withdrawn and replaced with the former Minister Zwane. However, he was removed as he did not buy into an issue of once empowered, always empowered. Then he was replaced by Minister Gwede Mantashe, who pushed through the mining charter that business wanted. The constant attacks on Amcu by the state is not different to the way the British state was used to break trade unions under former Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher in the 80s. It is clear that the Conservative Party was captured by UK big businesses in the 80s, just like today the state is captured by white monopoly capital. During the era of colonialism and the discovery of rich mineral resources, white capitalists started building their empires on the back of the hard labor of black workers. They forced us to pay taxes, took away our land, forced us to leave our families behind and come and provide them with cheap labor. They submitted us to terrible working conditions and exploited us in order to increase their profits. The empires of white monopoly capital grew and grew while we became poor and poor. Big businesses, and specifically the Chamber of Mines, became very powerful, so powerful that it was able to capture the state very quickly. First, this capture was done in the Union of South Africa in 1910, and in 1948 it was continued by the capturing of the National Party. Apartheid made this exploitation legal, and the black working class was oppressed even more. The struggle against oppression gained momentum all over the world. The working class and the progressive organization worked together to force the apartheid regime to negotiate settlement. CODESA came and our constitution was born. We had our first election almost exactly 25 years ago today. Tomorrow we celebrate Freedom Day. But the question will be, are we really free? What does it help to be free if you have nothing to show? What is a political freedom without economic freedom? CODESA in 1994 compromise might have given us political freedom and perhaps even social freedom, but it had failed to give us economic freedom. This was not an oversight, though. No. It was intentionally designed to protect the privilege of white monopoly capital. White capitalists ensured that CODESA was used to protect their interest and their wealth by co-opting the new ruling elite in their wings. This led to many of the black negotiators at CODESA becoming extremely rich. Some of them left politics to becoming businessmen. Some stayed in politics, and some returned to politics. This wealth, however, came at the price of the majority black people. The price was to sacrifice the economic emancipation of the millions of black citizens of our country. This is why we now have a small black elite in our country, but still the majority of blacks live in poverty. This is why we have become even more unequal after 1994. We have been sold out. State capture came long before Gupta's. It came in 1800s and it continued in 1990s. The ruling party was captured at CODESA and the state is the servant of the capital. If there is one thing that capital hates, is a strong militant trade union like Amcu. Capital wants weak trade unions, yellow trade unions, sweetheart unions, unions that can easily be convinced so that management can have it its way. Capital wants trade unions that conclude agreements in the boardrooms without a mandate from its members. Capital doesn't want a genuine trade union who runs its affairs through the mandate of its members. The tripartite alliance of the ruling party, COSATU, and Communist Party was also captured. This created a perfect environment for capital, as even labor was now captured. The National Union of Mine Workers will be easy way for capital to protect its privilege and feed its appetite for hyper profits. However, workers are not stupid. Workers are not dumb. Workers quickly realized that they were sold out by NUM and other yellow unions. They wanted a genuine militant union that can carry their mandate. They wanted a genuine union that can fight for their rights. They wanted a genuine union that can change their lives and make a difference in their lives. Then came the Marikana massacre on 16 August 2012. This date was the turning point. Workers showed that they have had enough of the black hand deal of yellow unions in their expense. Capital showed that it had truly captured the state. Shareholders in Lonmin used their power and influence to deploy the state security forces and brutally shot and killed workers in broad daylight in front of the TV cameras. Was this done by accident? No, not at all. It was done on purpose to show their shareholders that they will not allow workers to eat into their handsome profits. It was deliberate, designed to warn workers and trade unions to back off. Sibanye-Stillwater gold strike. Let's fast forward to 2018, just last year. Again, yellow trade union sidelined the majority of black mine workers and make a wage deal with Sibanye-Stillwater. Again, the workers make a stand and decided to strike. Again, Capital tries to break the strike by all possible means. Again, the Capital used the state to use barbed wire and live ammunition, killing our members. Again, Capital provoked workers, allows inter-union rivalry to flourish by favoring their yellow union over Amcu. Again, Capital used the media to spread false propaganda that tarnishes the image of the militant trade union called Amcu. Again, Capital used the state to intimidate members of Amcu during the strike. Meanwhile, all genuine attempts to resolve the wage dispute are countered and rubbished. At some stage, the mine was even prepared to reopen the agreement and increase the wage of all employees, but the yellow unions refused. They wanted to protect their narrow interests at the expense of their members. Without dwelling much on this point, Amcu was relieved when Sibanye saw the light and brought a solid settlement offer, of which resulted in settling the strike, and further avoided what would have called the second Marikana. Amcu is a genuine trade union, registered in terms of the Labor Relations Act. The Amcu Constitution defines the scope of the organization to include a variety of sectors apart from mining, including manufacturing, transport, and construction. Since its formation in 1998, Amcu has constantly grown to what it is today. One of the largest private sector trade unions, is one of the largest trade unions in South Africa. Amcu is run by shaft stewards who are elected by members at the shop floor. In terms of our constitution, shaft stewards elect branch executive committees and at the regional level. Regional Congress elect regional executives committees. At the national level, there is a National Executive Committee, Central Executive Committee, and every 5 years, a National Congress. Amcu branches have meetings at least once per month, and regional executive committees meet weekly during wage negotiations or other pressing issues. Amcu convenes more regular mass meetings where feedback is given to the members and mandate are taken from the members. Only a genuine trade union operates like this. We make decisions at the mass meeting, not around the boardroom with the capitalist. This is why Amcu continues to grow. Amcu has inaugurated new regional structures and offices in all provinces of the country, from Katu to Cape Town, from Steelport to Richards Bay. Amcu is there. Amcu is everywhere. Amcu remains in total compliance of the Labor Relations Act. Our finances are well managed and we submit audited financial statement every year. Our books are in order. There are no financial issues with Amcu. We have our National Congress every 5 years. At National Congress, we make policies decisions and have leadership elections. Our previous National Congress was held in 2013. This means that our next National Congress would have to take place in 2018 if it were 5 years later. Correspondence with the registrar. On the 24th of August 2018, the Registrar of Labor Relations Act wrote to us raising several points. One of these points were requesting us to state when we will have our next National Congress. We indicated that due to the vast number of the new branches and the regions being formed, we will only be ready for the Congress in 2019. We undertook to conclude all processes and have a Congress before the end of May 2019. As part of our preparations and in terms of our constitutional guidelines to give notice of National Congress at least 6 months prior, we convened a Central Executive Committee meeting on the 25th of October 2018. At this meeting, we read out the correspondence from the registrar, debated the matter, and proposed that the National Congress be held in May 2019. The CEC unanimously agreed and passed the resolution in this regard. It must be noted that the resolution of the CEC is the point from which the 6-month administrative time frame will count towards the month of May. I think I need to stress this one for your benefit. It must be noted that the resolution of the CEC is the point from which the 6-month administrative time frame will count towards the month of May. In fact, it will be a notice of 8 months. In the meantime, we continued with the build-up processes to the National Congress, including branch, regional elections, where such were due in terms of the Constitution. In other words, for those that branches, their terms of office expired, we conduct the election, and the region likewise. Then came the Sibanye strike on the 21st of November 2018. And this strike kept all of us very busy for almost 5 months. Most affected were the 2 major regions of Free State, West Rand, as well as the national leadership. On the 8th of February 2019, in the height of the strike, the registrar writes to us again. This time, he requests us to submit details regarding notices delegates attending the Congress, as well as nominations for the leadership positions. We find this very suspicious. We feel that he might disclose this information to the third party, as he has done on the previous occasion. So in other words, he will request the information from Amcu in the previous instances, and such information he will disclose to the third party, which for us is very much unethical. So we said, fine, you want this detail of our information, tell us your sources who wants such information. On the 7th of March 2019, we raised a preliminary point before we submit the information requested by the registrar. We requested him to address the issue of inconsistency in interfering in the smaller administrative details of the trade union's constitution. We also asked him to disclose the identity of the complainant, which led to his investigation. We said that we are willing to give the information, but that we first want him to address our preliminary point. Remember, for every union activities or any challenge that the union can have, the members must have a complaint to the registrar. So we are asking the registrar who complained, who put the complaint. In the previous matters, you were able to disclose that the former deputy president complained, and you gave us the detail of his complaint. The second complaint was from our member at Mashasfat, of which we gave us the detail. Give us the name of the person who complained about the Congress. So the registrar failed even today to tell us who is the complainant. The registrar receives our letter, but for the first time fails to acknowledge receipt. Furthermore, he does not respond to our letter. The previous correspondence that we had, he was responding, but in the last letter correspondent, he never corresponded or responded to our letter. At our next NEC meeting on the 1st of April 2019, we read out the letter from the registrar to the leadership before thoroughly debating the matter. The NEC notes the difficulties with the various time frames in the light of the protracted strike. For the sake of constitutional compliance, the NEC resolved to mandate the General Secretary to write to the Registrar that we will postpone our National Congress to September 2019. It is important to note that the NEC has a constitutional power and authority to postpone any meeting or event convened by Amcu. So these are the constitutional powers of the National Executive of Amcu. 2 days later, on the 3rd of April 2019, the General Secretary sends a letter to the Registrar to update his office on this development. This update referred to the guidelines and timelines reflected in the respective clauses of our Constitution. It is also indicated that mostly due to the Sibanye strike, compliance with the timelines led to the NEC resolution to postpone the National Congress to the month of September 2019. The letter invited the Registrar to pose questions or queries if necessary. Once again, the Registrar failed to acknowledge the letter. He also never responded to the letter or contacted us for the sake of questions and or queries. Still, we continued with our arrangement, and on the 12th of April 2019, issued a comprehensive directive to the regions regarding the respective administrative timelines in terms of our Constitution. It also set the specific dates for the National Congress to be the 18th, 19th, and the 20th of September 2019. Those were the dates that were communicated to all constitutional structures leading to the Congress. Notice to cancel the registration. Much to our surprise, we were issued with a notice by the Registrar on Wednesday, the 24th April 2019, that he now wishes to cancel our registration. But to our surprise, we first heard this news from the media. The media was the one that heard the news before Amcu that Amcu is under threat of being deregistered. We feel this highly inappropriate action to take a view of our constant correspondence to his office. The Registrar is inconsistent and unduly interfering in the internal affairs of Amcu. The inconsistency of the Registrar when it comes to the registration of trade unions leaves a lot to be desired. There are numerous examples of trade unions and trade unions federation who have contravened many prescriptions, including financial submissions. They were never deregistered or threatened with cancellation of registration. Just yesterday, in the article in the Sowetan, pointed out how COSATU affiliate CEPAU, Chemical Energy Paper Printing, Wood and Allied Workers Union, was not deregistered when it was found to be in a serious breach of LRA guidelines. This happened even after the dismissal of the previous registrar, and the current registrar has done nothing about it. Instead, he chooses to focus on Amcu. This is clearly a political agenda. Meeting with Register. Amcu will meet the Register on Tuesday in an attempt to solve this matter. We hope and pray that the Register will see sense so that we can continue with our Congress preparation as planned. In the meantime, Amcu has given the matter to its legal team to consider alternative legal options. We have a mandate from our CEC and NEC to proceed according to the advice we received. Status of Amcu. Amcu remains a registered trade union and all rights and agreements remain intact. A general memorandum was sent to all stakeholders and we thank all involved for their understanding and support. We are busy preparing for the upcoming platinum wage negotiations. We are by far the majority union at platinum operation of Anglo, Lonmin, Impala, and Sibanye Stillwater. We are encouraged that this round of negotiations will be fruitful and progressive. Amcu will continue its campaign of social justice and economic emancipation of the working class. In closing, the timing of deregistration of the Amcu, you could see clearly there's a hand of white monopoly capital, because they are trying to protect their interest if we engage them in economic emancipation of our members in the platinum sector. I thank you, Joseph Matunda, Amcu President. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade President. I think now is an opportunity for the media to raise any question of clarity with regard to the statement that has just been delivered. You may raise your hands and then... Yes, ma'am. Can you tell us...
Can I give you this one to assist just to Roving Macron?
The name, where you come from, and then the question. Thank you.
Tanisha from Reuters News Agency. In terms of your actions that you're taking now, could you possibly strike? Are you looking to potentially take any strike action? What is your next step other than having sort of a meeting? Just give a little bit more clarity on that.
Can you repeat?
We had two mics here, yeah? Where is the other one? No, no, thank you. Is it working?
Yeah, sure.
Right. Yes, well, your question was the strike?
Could you possibly strike, or do any sort of larger demonstrations? Any other plans other than having a meeting with them?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you did pick up, you are saying this matter we given to our legal counsel on this matter. Yes. I mean, those are the decisions of the members of Amcu. If the decisions of the members of Amcu feel strong about that, then we'll undertake due processes to do that. And nothing will prevent us to do that. And nothing will prevent members of Amcu to do that.
Good morning, my name is Pedro.
Yeah, it's working.
Is that fine?
Yes.
My name is Pedro Matlakwana. I'm with IODC. My first question, Dr. Matunda, is the allegations or the claims you made about how the registrar is not acted against other unions. In the past 10 years, there's been a total of 170 units that have been deregistered by the Labour Registrar. I'm not sure if you're aware. The registrar also moved on the power which you now say has not been acted against. Last year already, they are waiting for a date to be set up by the legal court where they're going to hear a case of whether the union should be placed under administration. But more so, I wonder if you think then, because you state that this is a political attack against you, if then you think the 170 units which are deregistered were also deregistered on the basis of a political motivation and what the political motivation is. If you share the same sentiment about some and the power which now face a similar state, whether that is politically motivated and what the political motivation is. And
yes,
I
mean,
I have a couple of questions.
It's no longer a question, it's a narrative. Let's assist you again. We quoted Sowetan. It's not Amcu saying Sapau. He has not acted. We said yesterday Sowetan picked up Sapau. That's what we're quoting. We're quoting from the media. But, I mean, we'll be naive to say it's not a political agenda. It is a political agenda. You self-media, you've been canvassing the regime change. Business Day, through Froneman, you've been pushing that agenda. Yourself, you've been to Pretoria talking about the Amcu issue of being not compliant. Don't feel strange about it. You know it, this agenda. You know it. But it's not going to happen according to your desires. It will happen according to the desires of members of Amcu. That is it. So it's very clear. So it's been an agenda. We've been on strike, but you guys, you've been pushing the regime change yourself, you media. We put everything. You are not interested in the strike of Amcu. You are only interested when the capital was speaking. That is what was posted in your printing media. There was a blackout in TV in 5-month strike. It's only CNBC had an interest, in our strike. You only pitched up when NUM was complaining about violence. Then you will pitch up in the mountaintop. But if NUM was not complaining, you were nowhere to be found. Any narrative that was pushed in the printing media is when Amcu is alleged on violence. Then is where we are cropping up. Huh? You quickly to forget these things.
I'm from ENCA. I just want a few clarities on my visa. I understand, according to the report from the registrar, that you had a special conference in 2013, but prior before that you had a national congress in 2011. But you managed to have a special congress in 2013. Why did it now take more than 5 years to organize this next one? Surely you could have done the same and have made provisions to have one within a period of 5 years. And just to get on your financials, can you just
sorry, I didn't catch you. You are talking about 2013, 20 what? 2011.
Yes,
well, I just want to get your question to answer what you have asked.
So before the special congress in 2013, Amcu had, according to the registrar, had a national congress in 2011. But it managed within 2 years to hold a special congress in 2013. Now, why did it take more than 5 years to organize the latest one?
Can I answer that one?
Okay.
I think our constitution, you know it better than me now, you media people. It says after 5 years. So after 5 years was the end of 2018. So what's wrong? We're in compliance. So, there's nothing wrong. The fact of the matter, the NEC has a right to change the date. There's nothing wrong. Our Congress, the 5 years lapsed in 2018. And then after lapsing, then we prepared the Congress 6 months. And we did as such. So what more do you want from us? What's supposed to do? The only thing we said, the Congress processes administratively, yes, has started. But because of the Sibanye strike, which took us 5 months, 2 major regions who are supposed to be part of the Congress, give us just an extension of the date, just to move the date forward to September. We are not running away from the Congress. So what is the hype about this issue? Any organization has got the right to postpone. Why our rights are being undermined as a NEC? Why? It's within our constitution to do that. That's a power that is vested to the NEC of Amcu to remove or to postpone. We are not running away from the Congress. The process has started. The region, they know. They are busy with nomination. Everything is in line. What is the issue here? That's a political agenda. Come on. Because we are the militant union. We are driven by the masses. Show me any union in South Africa that can call 10,000 of its members and seek a mandate. Show me. Show me. Show me any union that has been to labor court litigation against the white monopoly capital protecting its members more than Amcu. Show me. Show me any other union that hold press conference, progressive press conferences. Show me any union where we will see their national office bearers, president, climbing the mountain, chanting with the workers, pushing the agenda of the workers on the street. Show me. Show me. Continue, my brother.
But just on your financial, I just want clarity. Have you been submitting your financial report? And as well, does Amcu have, I understand there's Igula Umbrella Provident Fund. Does Amcu own an investment arm, and who runs it?
Thank you very much. Let's assist you. You know, this Caucasian mind, it has to be fixed one way. And the only way to fix the Caucasian mind is to know the truth. Let's assist you to know the truth. All Amcu finances, go and ask this Mulife, he will tell you. That's why he cannot make any halabaloo in terms of the finances of Amcu. All audited finances of Amcu are in order. There is no issue. I heard you media, you are talking about 7 billion that is in Amcu Gula. Show us. Where is it? Show it.
Do you own an investment arm now?
We don't have an investment arm. Who are the directors? Those questions must go to NUM and other unions. We don't have those things. We don't own UBank. We don't own TEPA. Huh? All the monies of Amcu service our members. During the strike, show me any union when they are on strike, they can spend millions to support their members on strike. Show me. It's only this union. Show me any union when their members are on strike, they can transport their members to home in all the corners, the province of the country, except Amcu in this country. Show me. I've never heard any member of Amcu complaining about the finances of Amcu because they see their money used to them every day. Paul at the back. And also, maybe, the comrade is saying that if the union is mandated by its structure and its members to form an investment wing, what prevents them? Nothing. But for Amcu, when forms Igula, it became a huge, because what we are doing, anything that is formed by a black organization is deemed to be corrupt, according to white monopoly capital. Anything that seeks to progress the lives of a black person, it must be crushed to death, because we are taking the money from white monopoly capital. We are building our own black economy. What's wrong with that? What's wrong? Why those monies that are run by the big insurance companies owned by Europeans, we are not questioning them? Why, when Amcu started its own empowerment, if it started its own empowerment to see to it how it runs their finances, how their members are benefiting, it's becoming an issue to you. Let becoming an issue if you're becoming a member of Amcu, then we'll hear you.
The deregistration, it came as a surprise to you and the union. If it were to continue, if there were more surprises, if the union would be successfully deregistered, do you have a plan as to how the union would proceed? Thank you.
Is it working this time?
As president.
I'm trying to change the battery.
Okay, I think my voice is strong. Thank you. Your question was, we were surprised.
No, it was if the union is deregistered by maybe a continuation of different, I don't know, if the deregistration process continues and the union is successfully deregistered by the Labor Department, then do you have a plan as to how the union would proceed if it were deregistered?
No, I don't think that the union would be deregistered. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Amcu will be still functioning even moving forward. So I cannot answer for something that I don't know. But what I know now, Amcu is registered, is continuing, and it will continue to function. Right at the back.
Cindy from Newsroom Africa. I just wanted to find out clarity on what you stated, that in the past when there was a complaint brought to the registrar about Amcu, they were able to give you the name of that particular person. In this particular incident, you're saying that they have not disclosed who this person could possibly be. Are they a list of people that could possibly, that you could share with us, of who you think might be behind this?
No, I don't know. That's why I wanted to know from the registrar.
But surely there are people that you think are disgruntled. There's been a narrative that they're disgruntled members.
Maybe you know as a media, I don't know anyone. The only way I will know him is when he registers his complaint, and we are told by the Department of Labor, as they did previously. So I cannot speculate. I don't run union based on speculations.
But can you at least, looking at the terrain, you mentioned that there are yellow unions, you mentioned that there are other white monopoly capital. Can you at least say where you think that this might be coming from? Are there other political parties?
The only white monopoly capital that was very much obsessed with Amcu was Neil Froneman, who was saying there must be a regime change. You know it. You read it from your business day. That was the one that I know. But I'm not suggesting he's the one that went. But the fact of the matter, he was very much obsessed of changing Amcu leadership, supported by Business Day.
You further cited while you were giving or reading the statement that there are other people who became rich after Podesa, who are from Podesa. So you're actually giving signals of who you think would be behind this. No fancy?
But you don't know who are rich. You don't know, the top 10 black South African who are rich in the country. Do you have another question?
I do.
Progressive question.
I'm going to rephrase what you described as a narrative. My question is this. Do you then think every other union which has been deregistered, the motivation thereof by the Labour Registrar's Office was politically motivated?
Okay. I'm not a spokesperson of those unions. I'm talking about Amcu. Yeah. Thank you.
My name is Natasha. I'm from the Mail and Guardian newspaper. Mr. Platinum, I just wanted to elaborate a little bit on my colleague's question, because the Labour Registrar's Office is a bureaucratic one, according to the law and the Constitution. So I just wanted further clarity. Are you saying he's being influenced by the minister, business, or the establishment as a whole? Who specifically is influencing this very bureaucratic process? It's a very bureaucratic role. And then the second question is, Amcu was meant to have a special NEC where it was meant to discuss its position in relation to the election, whether it is going to come out in support of a particular political party. I just wanted to get clarity on whether you guys have had that and whether you've made a decision on who you will support on May 8th. Thank you.
Oh, the first one. What was the first one?
Who's influencing the registrar? Who is influencing the registrar?
Who's influencing
The registrar.
the decision?
Of the registrar.
Business, minister.
I think those who are influencing, if they are influencing, are those who are protecting their interest. And also maybe media, you should assist us, because even for us, knowing that we are in the process of being deregistered, we find it from the media. So maybe you can assist us who are behind this. Maybe you can share that information. But it's clear that, there is a very concentrated effort, how to destroy Amcu. So, we cannot run away from it. And then the second question. So I think the second question of whom are we going to vote for, we haven't arrived into that decision. We haven't arrived to that decision yet. I don't know whether I've answered you correctly. Thank you very much.
Any further questions? Yes.
Mr. Matonja, I also, like the media colleague here, I would like for you to fill in some of the blanks. I find it very difficult that you take us to a certain point as the media, saying that this is a political agenda, that you smell a political agenda, and then you just leave us hanging with it. We want to know what you think. It doesn't have to be right or wrong, but we want to know who, and especially after my colleague over here said, you said these things, we didn't say them. You said some Kodesa negotiators profited, they left politics, came back to politics, and that kind of narrows it down. But we want to know who you think is waging this political war.
No.
That's my first question.
Right.
And as part of the politics, you said that as Amcu, you haven't decided who you're going to vote for. I would like to know if we're going to get that decision before May 8th. And are you, as Amcu, thinking about, well, being political yourself? We're seeing, NUMSA approach that. And if you're saying that you're under political attack, I don't know how you protect yourself. My question.
Okay. Right. Let's start with this issue of CODESA. I think that's common cause that there are people who benefited from the CODESA, black people. How the BE structure came into existence. Huh? You want me to mention people that you know? Huh? Huh?
Yes, that's what we want.
You want me to?
We are here for those things.
You don't know who are people who are rich in South Africa. No, you must go and buy Forbes then. Come on. You don't have money to buy Forbes. I'll give you money. Go and buy Forbes. Then you read. Who are the most richest people, black people in South Africa? Come on, man. Media. You don't know that. Come on. No. No. Oh, you were not born by then. All right. Right. So, Amcu, it's not part of the alliance of the ANC. You've seen in the 5-month strike, you failed to run a proper story that we gave you, that the SEPs vehicle were serviced by Neil Froneman in his workshops. You media, we gave you that information. All the Caspers of the state were serviced at West Rand, Sibanye Stillwater workshop. That is not political interference. That is not state interference. How the Marikana was built up at Lonmin was not the white monopoly capital gave the state, the facilities, infrastructure to launch the attack to the workers. Very strange, eh? Very strange. So now, if you say it's not a political issue based on those inferences, I don't know.
I am saying what you're saying, Mr. Matuga. What you're saying is that this is a political issue. I feel that you represent, if you will, white monopoly capital through Neil Froneman. But I would like to know who is behind the political attack, the machinery that you're saying government used to attack.
Those who are leading the government, they are not belonging to the government. It's a collective of them. You know it. And by mentioning Froneman, it's not that he's the only one. I'm just saying as an example. It's an example that he was pushing the regime change. You've seen it in the Business Day in many articles that he was pushing the regime change. And the regime change is also business people like Business Day. It's part of it. It's part of it, of a regime change.
But Mr. Matuga, you're not mentioning any politician. You haven't mentioned a single politician. It's just Neil Froneman. Give us a politician. Give us one. Give us political. Give us one, Mr. Matuga.
Just to add on to that, Baba, you mentioned in your statement that people have been complaining as well as
media, you want to take it out of order. The issue here, we are not concerned about the registration of Amcu. We gave you the narrative, the facts of you. Now you divert, you want to push your own narrative. And I'm not going to address your narrow narrative interest. The issue here, we put the points before you, what processes we followed in our Congress. Find fault in what we presented on our deregistration. That is what you need to find out. Why you... No. You are out of order. You just want to make a spectacular out of nowhere. Please don't play to that level. We are respecting media and you try to push your own narrative. The issue here was the deregistration of Amcu. Amcu was at fault, was flouting its own constitution. That is what was running in the media. So now you want to be very selective to go to one issue and you make it as if it's a pillar of this press conference. No, the issue is the deregistration of Amcu. Come with your question in your deregistration of Amcu.
Okay. Okay, maybe we have to conclude this session because it's appearing now that there are no further questions. There will never be any name mentioned in this conference. I mean, in this press conference. I mean, allegations are made by different people. You have never asked specific name. Political parties are always making allegations. We never ask who is involved with that allegation. If we say politics, it's politics. Politics is a buzzword. It's political influence. So I think media should respect that and don't force us to say it's you. We can't do that. Is there any other questions? Yes.
You mentioned that there's been attacks on Amcu. Can you please give us some of those attacks? And just finally, the meeting with the registrar, what are you hoping to get out of it?
When attacks coming to?
Amcu.
I mean, members at Amcu. I mean, we've been attacked in terms of Amcu not following its own constitution. Amcu is not submitting its financials. That's an attack on Amcu, and of which is not true. Every financial year we submit our financials. We've got records. Even the registrar does have our records of finances. And then the last question was?
Your meeting with the registrar, what are you hoping to get out of it?
I mean, to resolve this impasse that they've created. That is what we hope for. That's it.
Also, since 2013, President, there has been this allegation that Amcu did not hold conferences. The leadership has not been involved.
I mean, I think the comrade was just emphasizing that the issue of allegations of Amcu never held the Congress, even how many times we explain to everyone in the media, but still they didn't want to accept our position. To say from 2013 there was this allegation, we give count. We said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where the Congress end our office, and then we start. Still, the media didn't want to understand that. So I don't know. We've got nothing to give you because now we want us to create stories. No, we are not going to create stories. We gave you the facts. The issue that was running, Amcu is gonna be deregistered because they failed to follow its constitution. And then we came here and we give you fact, blow by blow, that we are not at fault by any chance. By any chance. We have complied, we put a date, the process is in place, but they continued to do what they are doing. So I think if you are satisfied, because the issue was about the deregistration, and then we gave you everything, facts by facts. What we have, the Department of Labor, they do have. So the question, that's why we said, why? Why? Because this department, we've been constantly communicating, they are updated, they know the processes where they are. Why do they show such interest? Why do they show such interest? But I mean, we are the militant union. We cannot hide that. Yes, we want to change the economic status quo, the colonial economic status quo. And we are not going to apologize with that. Sorry, we are not going to apologize. We are going to fight for our members and for the work representing the working class, that our members, with the wealth that they create through their limbs, through their blood, in the harsh condition, they must be compensated. And we are not apologetic to that one. I don't have a handler. I don't have a handler. I'm not accountable to any politician. I'm accountable to my cabinet, which is this one behind me, around me. That's my cabinet. And my parliament is my mass meeting. That is where I get a mandate. I'm not getting mandate from media or for any politician for that matter. For you is to give you the information. So we're giving you the information. But now if you want to be the representative of the white money capital to get your check end of the month, sorry, I'm not going to play that game. Thank you.
Sabana.